Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. The great-grandfather, the grandfather, the father, and now the children, the fourth generation of the Hines family, helping East Tennesseans build their dream projects, sturdy, energy efficient, affordably. A.G. Hines Company is just the best around. If you're looking for building materials, cutting-edge materials, if you're looking for tools, they've got it. They've got it all right there. Don't go to the mega chain store that's going to have to say, well, we got that in Topeka, we'll have to have it shipped in. A.G. Hines Company. They got it right here in downtown Knoxville on Hines Street. Easy to remember. aghines.com to learn more. Okay, each week we're going to cover a couple of quick questions in this segment, and we bring in Chuck Cavaleris to start. Chuck, thanks for being here.
Great to be here, John.
I start with this quick question for you.
Okay.
Who was the best player on the field yesterday?
Well, I'll tell you what, I really noticed Aaron Beasley. 8 tackles, 2 sacks. He's having to step up and play multiple linebacker positions. It just seemed like he was all over the field. And I tell you what, second game in a row, too, where he just really continually flashed to me.
I had 9 total tackles, 8 solo tackles.
Right.
The 2 sacks you mentioned and 5 tackles for loss.
Yes.
It's Aaron Beasley, isn't it?
Yeah, it was clear cut. I mean, it's hard to say.
It was nobody on offense.
Although I was Jalen Wright.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
he averaged 9 yards a carry again, 2 games in a row.
Yeah, right.
You know, but he wasn't the best player on the field. Well,
No.
I'll go with Beasley, too.
And they were moving Beasley around a lot.
Yeah.
He's blitzing, moving around. I think it started, I thought, with Clemson when they moved him to the weak side linebacker spot.
Yep.
And that just obviously his natural position, but he is really playing at an all SEC level right now.
Well, the one thing they did that Austin Peay challenged them, they did a lot of different sets, different kinds of things that made that defense have to adjust around. And I thought they did a good job. I did think, talking about last segment, that does help them prepare for Florida, just having all those motions and sets. But obviously, he's done a great job of not only making plays himself, but being the guy out there directing other guys and getting them lined up.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll give a little tip of the cap to Mike DeLillo, the quarterback of Austin Peay, because his degree of difficulty was higher than anybody on Tennessee's offense. He was beaten up all night long. He played pretty well. I thought, for an FCS quarterback to come to Neyland Stadium, take the beating he took and play as well as he did, keep his team in it. He wasn't the best player on the field, but he was one of them. Kudos to him.
How many yards did he got if his own tackle hadn't tackled him?
That's true.
Well, he was a guy that he was getting pounded, but he really didn't want to give it to the back.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the guy.
Yeah.
At one point in the game, I was like, our defense should just say, don't worry about it. He's not handing it off. He wants it. So, tough guy.
Well, and it hurt his rushing numbers. If you look at the ends, like he didn't rush for anything. Well, he had 7 sacks.
Yeah.
I mean, that eats up your numbers. Let's see here. What was the other thing I was going to throw? Oh, next question. What was the worst coaching move? Was there a coaching move? I didn't like the fact that Dylan Sampson got 4 touches. That made no sense to me.
Can I go with Austin Peay?
Sure.
They're at the end of the game when they're down near the goal line. Those were just 2 horrible calls. You went with the Jalen Hurts Eagles offense. We're going to push you into the end zone, and that kid ain't Jalen Hurts, tough as nails, but he ain't Jalen Hurts. And then the next call was just as bad. Another, you try to just cram it up the middle. And I thought that coach, who had done a good job keeping his kids at a high level and keeping them close, I thought at the end, with the 7 minutes to go, all we don't want to do is give Tennessee the ball back and give them a chance to score, because it's going to go down. I think it's probably the biggest game in Austin Peay history. You played the number 9 team in the country to within a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, and I was thinking right there, even with Florida coming up, boy, a little jump pass or something other than just trying to just go right up into the teeth of Tennessee's defense.
So for all Tennessee's problems, at the end, that was my worst.
Well, I just thought you had twice you ran that same double pass thing.
Yeah.
And like, don't you have a 2-point play or something funky you can roll out? I mean, those 2 up the middle plays at the end, I agree.
Well, I mean, in the very least, getting your quarterback on the edge, right? Not putting him up the middle.
Yeah.
That's where you've seen their most success on a few runs. And it's like, do that, stress them, roll him out, have somebody in the backfield make them choose. That linebacker have to choose, am I coming up and getting you, or am I leaving out the zone?
That's why the next segment's going to be about firing the Austin Peay offensive coordinator.
I wasn't offended by that because I ran the clock. I was enjoying that part.
Yeah, thank goodness.
All right, here's one that's really offbeat. Bad coaching decision, Tennessee. Don't let Jackson Ross rugby punt with his right leg. Make him punt with his left leg.
He's had
He
more
averaged
success.
over 48 yards a punt with his left leg. He shanked another one punting to the right. So make him punt left-footed,
I hadn't done the numbers on it. So he averaged 48 with the left.
at least. Yeah.
But the left foot caused the fumble.
That's true. That's when he got fumbled, didn't he? Okay. And then the last thing I want to put up here is everybody's been talking about the uniforms. Some people like them. Some people hate them. That's just nature of the beast. But there are a lot of people saying, well, we're doing it for recruiting. Well, Alabama doesn't do it. Doesn't have to recruit that way. And USC and Texas. Texas is a good example since they have their own unique orange and they just stick with what they wear because everybody knows when you flip by, hey, that's Texas. But Tennessee's doing all this stuff. It's not for recruiting. Poll after poll have shown that kids aren't picking schools based on uniform. It's about 5th on their list. There is one reason why they're doing it, though. Let me put it up here. Clothes money, people. That new jersey, you want to buy it? It's $104.99 at utsport.com, and they promoted the living hell out of it all over the place yesterday. That's why they're doing it. Danny White, if he thought you would buy a pink jersey with green polka dots, they would be fitted in pink and green polka dots next week. He's all about the cash. That's why you're doing it. And we went to break. I teased that. We teased that, and before, you waited until the camera went off, and you looked and went, you knew.
Maybe that'll be a good poll question. What about these alternate uniforms?
That was the initial poll question.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
until the game went sideways, and I thought, let's see what the confidence level
Maybe
is
they
after
should
that.
change the name to Smoky Green.
Smoky dots. All right. When we come back, Mike Stoll is going to tell us what stood out for this game for him, and our next 2 VFLs will join us as well. So it'll be a VFL roundtable with me just moderating. So come on back on the Sports Source.